sloppiness. We had too many turnovers, we had too many penalties. Defensively, we lost contain at times when we shouldn't have. We didn't tackle that well at times with the twos that were in there. And we got some people nicked up, you know, and so some of those younger guys have to come in and be ready to step up, and they weren't ready at times, and so we've got to get much better at that. Listen, a win is a win, don't misunderstand me, and they're so hard to come by, you better enjoy them, and we're going to. But as I told the team, you know, we go on the road next week, different kind of adversity, and we're exactly where we want to be, but we can't be satisfied with where we're at. We got to clean up some things and continue to work to get better. I mean, anytime, come on, anytime you can score more than the opposing team, it's a good night. Okay, so, I mean, I'm obviously looking at this as a coach, and you know, no disrespect to Waldorf. I mean, that's a team on paper we should match up with and we should play well. And I'm very proud of our team that we did play well and we took care of the business we were supposed to take care of. And listen, the amount of explosive plays and the big things. I mean, Colin did a great job with the exception of one mistake. Gavin did a great job. Even Pitt came in and ran the offense very well. We can get better. And again. We're gonna focus on making sure that both our coaching staff and our players, while we're enjoying the good plays, look for those things we can do even better as we go forward. Our defense has been playing really well and creating turnovers in an area where we can score quickly. And in the past, we have not been able to take full advantage of that. These last 2 weeks we have. And nothing, I mean, it's great. It's great to see the turnover belt moving around, people getting excited about it, the defense is flying around. Listen, a lot of good things happened tonight. I just think that we're continuing to play as a team. And our special teams overall were very good. We let one return up. We didn't kick the ball quite as well as our kickoff team, but we're 100% on PATs, 100% on field goals. All that stuff is good, and overall we're doing a really good job with our punt protection. We got a punt block tonight, you know. So all three facets of our game are improving, and that's why you're seeing the result that you're seeing. Because in the past, one phase wasn't in phase. If I'm talking like that, so all three phases are working well, and I think it's credit to our kids and our coaches putting together great game plans and holding each other accountable and making sure that we execute like we're supposed to execute. The reason that I'm upset is because, you know, let's face it, you know, Krasky got a target penalty, and when he went out, he's a heart and soul of our defense from the standpoint. But it was great for Tyler Marabella to come in and play, and great for Hunter Stevens, who had a lot of good plays. But Hunter can play a lot better, and so as coaches, you're expecting the next guy up philosophy. When one guy goes down, the next guy has to step in and make the plays. And so a game like this and a game like last week gets us much closer to that because there's no substitute for experience. You cannot simulate game day speed in practice. And so our younger guys seeing that does two things. One, gives them the experience, but number two, gives them great motivation knowing that I'm only one play away from getting out there. And you know, the hurts don't hurt as bad. The ills don't feel as bad, and certainly the motivation to continue to improve is always better when you win.
All right, now.
Well, trust me, when we look at the film, we look at it very critically, and it goes back to, frankly, the culture that we've been building on this team for the last 3 years. And you've heard me say this before, we take the culture of the Navy SEALs. No matter what mission they go on, regardless if it's perfect or if it goes bad, they come back, debrief, and look for ways to improve. Because they're never happy, they're never satisfied, they're always looking to improve themselves. It's exactly what I told the team tonight. And I think this team right here is mature and is doing that. The senior leadership that we have is demanding that of the younger kids, and they're demanding it of themselves. And I think that's why you've seen the results you've seen for the last 2 weeks, and we'll hopefully continue to do that as we get into the beginning of our schedule.
All right.
Down the middle of the tree where you made a couple moves and went the distance right after the half is a pretty dang good play. There were a lot of good plays. You know, the interception by Jalen Scott down the sidelines that took it down to the 4-yard line. I mean, he played that ball perfectly. Even the interception by Juan O'Neal at the end, that was an over-the-shoulder type grab, and he made a great play on the football. Was in perfect position to do that. So those are the plays that kind of stick out in my mind. And then Bryson Richards continues to just be a headhunter on special teams. Although tonight he was more the nail than the hammer on one of those things, but his his physicalness is rubbing off on the other players and really motivating them. And he's a great example of how you play every play as hard as you can, no matter what. Chris Hawkins got a sack tonight, you know, and that was great to see him get an opportunity to get in there. He made an inside move on the tackle, actually was held pretty bad, and then shook the hold and ended up making the play. So there's a lot of great things to take away from this. Don't misunderstand me. But again, with this team here and where we're at, our expectations are much better than what we did, and we can do better. And I think the key is our team's expectations of themselves are better, and they're going to continue to work to do that. And listen, you know, a lot of people, well, the game's over. You should, hey, we're both teams are looking to get better, and you know, whether we're on the good side of this or on the bad side, we contracted for 60 minutes, and that's why, you know, we're looking to improve, and they're looking to improve, and they've got a really young team. They've got some transfers that have come in that are trying to get their football legs back on. They've been out of football. You know, number 7, their wide receiver, he's really a good athlete. He started at the University of Minnesota, but had been out of football for a couple of years, so he's trying to knock the rust off. And so, you know, Josh was working to get all his team better and make sure you can always have an opportunity at the end of the game. You know, he got a chance to work on his 2-minute offense with a younger quarterback. So you're always looking as a coach to utilize that experience in the game, because again, that game day speed you just cannot simulate unless you're in a game. And so I credit to him that he kept coaching. His kids played really hard until the very end, and there was no quit in any of them.